Hello, and welcome to Simple Blind Luck. I am Blind Luck, and I'll be your guide dog on our little adventure. Alrighty, folks, today we're going to have another installment of Becoming Blind Luck. But first, we'll do a quick recap. On the previous episode, I actually had a therapist that came and was trying to find something for me to do as far as just entertainment, because most of the things I did previously were very visually oriented, and obviously that wasn't going to work anymore. So he eventually had the idea of playing cards, and he found a set of Braille cards, taught himself Braille, and then taught me enough Braille, just the basics, in order to be able to play with the playing cards. So then we started playing blackjack and poker and all kinds of stuff just so I can get some practice. So it was really good to have some form of entertainment. Today, we're going to continue with, it was quite an odd event that happened while I was there. Now, I'm not exactly sure why, but at some point, they decided for me to have a hearing test. And I figured it's just this standard thing, but they conduct a test, and it was very similar to the old school ones I had like in elementary school, where you got headphones on and you're supposed to raise your hand when you hear something, except this kind, I actually had a little clicker, like a button to press, and I was to press it every time I heard any kind of sound. Well, the test came back that apparently my hearing wasn't very good. And this was quite puzzling to me, because I knew my hearing does just fine. And then, after a little contemplation, I recalled that during the test, in a room, I'm assuming next door, or either way, it was very close by, there was a smaller child, and I don't know if they were getting a shot or just some kind of procedure, but they were not happy one bit. And there was a lot of yelling and crying going on, which, just so happens can distract you if you're doing something like a hearing test. And part of it, I'm sure, is you got the noise aspect, but also I tend to be a little overly empathetic when it comes to like small children, and sitting there hearing one crying, and it's like I'm all focused on that because I'm wanting to help them. I'm feeling bad for them. I want to make things better. So I was pretty sure that caused me to have a less than stellar hearing test. So I went and I explained this to the people, and it took a little bit of convincing on my part, but I finally got them to agree to give me the test again. And turns out, when there is not a child screaming in the next room, my hearing's just fine. So that was pretty good. Now, I'm sure some of you would be curious that, like, it is just normal. Like, there's nothing special about my hearing. It's not like greater than average or any, it's just baseline normal. I've actually done a video on this previously that I will link in the description about, people have this concept that, oh, well, if you're blind, you've got this superhuman hearing. And I really don't. And I think what it is the fact it can appear that way to people, because I have learned to identify lots lots of information solely by the sound, and it's things that people wouldn't necessarily think. You wouldn't be able to glean that kind of information unless you can see. And you really can. You can get a lot of information. It's just I don't have the visual information coming in, so I focus a lot on what I hear. There's a very good chance that you hear the exact same thing. It's just because you have the visual information, you tend to ignore it because it's not as important to you. So, no, I don't have superhuman hearing, nor is my hearing flawed in any kind of way, at least thus far. But we're going to pause on Becoming Blind Luck for the day. I will leave you with an on the bright side. And for today we have, I'm blind. But on the bright side, when I go to order a movie online, I actually end up saving money. Because I'll be going through there and it's like, would you like to pay an extra $2 for ultra high definition? Yeah, no, I do believe standard definition will be just fine, thank you. And with that, I will hear you later.